Welcome back to another triangle strategy.
Roland, Benedict, and Frederica regroup back in the capital.
So that's pretty much what happened after we dispatched of Patriot on Roland's route, utility route. We recruited Cordelia, and we regrouped back in Whiteholm Castle to decide what we're gonna do next.
But what they experienced while they were away could very well alter the course of destiny itself.
Well, will fate bring us?
What is so important you wish to speak to me alone?
Lord Serenoa, promise me you will remain calm. I come bearing grave news. Your Lord Father has passed.
Okay.
What? But how? I thought he was recovering.
It was not the illness that took him, my lord. He was assassinated.
Assassinated?
Forgive me. I was unable to stop the villain.
Who would send someone to kill my father? And why?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the story, it's pretty much not worth anything.
It was Patriot of the Royalists.
Well, that makes sense.
He believes House Wolford a hindrance to King Roland's rule. No doubt, he meant to kill both you and your father in one fell swoop.
A hindrance?
I can assure you His Majesty knew nothing of this. But disclosing the truth would put us in a precarious position. At worst, it could lead to civil war. It is best you hide the fact of Lord Simon's assassination.
You want me to say he succumbed to his illness? How can I pay respect to my father with such lies on my lips?
My lord, your father entrusted me with one final order.
What did he say?
He asked me to tell you the truth.
The truth about what?
We got one more truth incoming.
I ask you to listen calmly, my lord. You are not Lord Simon's son by blood. Your true father is King Regna.
Okay, I totally didn't expect that. What the hell? How?
His Majesty sired a child out of wedlock with the Lady Destra. That child is you.
Oh, so he cocked Simon.
Lady Destra lived in the Crown City, but she was not a woman of means. Someone of her position could never hope to marry a king. Or indeed keep her head once the Royalists discovered what had happened. Lord Simon knew this, and so he welcomed her and the baby in her belly to House Wolford. He and I were the only two who knew her secret. We had intended to carry it with us to our graves. But in his last moment, Lord Simon bade me give this to you.
No wonder Roland and him are so close.
The royal signet of Glenbrook.
They're essentially brothers.
King Regna entrusted it, and you, to Lord Simon, as proof of your place in the royal line.
Is this truly who I am?
I know it may be difficult to accept.
No, I believe it. I have never known you to speak false to me. Thank you for telling me what my father wished me to know.
You would still call him father?
raised me as his own. And besides, I must keep up the pretense in front of the others. Especially in front of Roland. This stays between us, Benedict. We must keep the truth of my parentage and this ring safe.
Of course, my lord. As you command.
Alright, we're back with Wifey 2.
Serenoa, I would speak with you before we meet with the others.
Is something the matter? I was led to believe the Rosellan village escaped all but unscathed.
Pray, look at this.
A book?
We recovered it from a band of brigands. It once belonged to the Aesfrosti archives.
Yeah, that's the one they stole.
It was authored by one Orlea, my mother.
So since we didn't go through one of the Liberty paths, which is dealing with the bandits attacking, what's his name? Jerome and the others, they probably dispatch of the bandits instead of getting them recruited.
Inside is the truth about the Roselle. Nay, about all Norzelia.
The truth? How would your mother have that knowledge?
The Rosellan people have long passed down the secret of the salt. My mother was a chosen keeper of that history. In ancient times, the Roselle lived in the southernmost reaches of Norzelia, in a place called Centralia. It is said Centralia was on the shore of a vast expanse of salt water they called the sea.
Oh, it didn't even occur to me that there's no sea in
Back
Norzelia.
then, the Norzelia we know was at the bottom of that sea, but a cataclysm dried up all the water, and thus this land came to be.
So this Norzelia is a continent of ocean,
The
like
salt
Atlantis.
crystallized and sank into the earth, the very earth we now walk upon.
Salt beneath our feet.
After the cataclysm, only one small lake of salt remained. War raged on and on as people fought to control it. The Roselle tried to stop the fighting by digging up a giant pillar of salt to show everyone the secret they had long kept. But Hyzant, whose power over Norzelia came from controlling the lake and the salt it produced, could not allow the truth to get out. They captured the Roselle, branded them criminals who tried to seize control of the salt for themselves, and confined them to the lake.
And what of the pillar?
Hyzant stole it and hid it, inside the very statue of the goddess that towers over the source.
How can you be certain?
During the uprising, my mother broke the statue and recovered a fragment of the pillar within.
And that's a salt crystal, I assume.
The salt crystal found in the Rosellan village. Incredible. If what you say is true, the teachings are a lie. This will shake Hyzant to its very foundations.
And we would be able to free the Roselle from their imprisonment at the source.
With so much at stake, we must be careful in what we do now. Frederica, I would ask for more time to think this through.
Of course. I have every faith in House Wolford. And in you.
Alright, that's one more big truth dropped on us.
That is the extent of what happened during our various endeavors. The passing of my Lord Father, the Royalist scandal, and the book that revealed the truth about the Roselle and the salt. It is time we consider what we shall do to overcome these obstacles facing us.
I still cannot believe how quickly Lord Simon's condition worsened.
It is most devastating. Serenoa, did your father say nothing else to you? Before he...
He bade me lead House Wolfort well.
I see. and we must all do what we can to help you honor that request.
Your Majesty, what do you plan to do about the Royalists who misappropriated supplies?
As far as I've been able to discern, those involved acted out of greed and self-interest. They must all be punished. Nothing less than exile from the kingdom or execution will suffice.
But there are those among them who support the Glenbrook line. Will that not impact your governance?
Perhaps. But to pardon their crimes would kindle the people's ire. We must make an example of them. To appease the people. To make clear the consequences of engaging in such foolhardy behavior.
Did something else happen in the capital, King Roland?
Nothing you need concern yourself with.
He only dispatched a patriot.
I must say, I was shocked to learn of that Rosellan legend. Do you suppose the contents of that book could be true?
The part about their homeland, Centralia, that sits upon a vast saltwater sea? That of the untapped salt crystals beneath Norzelia? Or that, in order to monopolize the salt trade, Hyzant fabricated the Roselle's sins? That the pillar of salt Hyzant stole from the Roselle is hidden within the statue of the goddess? If any of it is true, it would turn everything we know on its head. It would mean the teachings of the Holy State are not but lies.
It does sound unbelievable, but we have already seen part of this legend for ourselves.
The crystal from the Rosellan village?
That crystal is a fragment from the pillar within the statue of the goddess. One my mother obtained during the uprising.
It fits perfectly.
Apparently, Lady Orlea penned the book detailing the legend for Frederica.
She did. She enchanted it so no one could open it, but left me the key to break the spell. This pendant.
I doubt a mother would go to such lengths to lie to her daughter.
Then we agree the legend contains at least a seed of truth.
Your Majesty, we have received word that the survivors of the Duchy's army are amassing.
What? Where?
Finally ready to wage war.
At the Grand Norzelian Mines.
Oh, the mines are the next big
But we
battle.
cannot be sure what they are doing. None of our scouts have returned.
These frosty dogs. We will speak later, Serenoa. First, we must put down whatever the Duchy is planning at the mines. I need you and your people beside me.
Of course. We shall ready ourselves for the battle at once.
Extraction is nearly finished. We've secured the amount we were told. Seems such a waste to just leave the rest.
Don't think Archduke Gustadolf gives two shites. Hurry it up. We need to be done here before Glenbrook catches on to us.
Sir.
And that is that. Pretty short.